Hello again. Today is July 12th, 2025, and I was on a roll to finish all my pairing videos, but sadly, I started getting tired, and so I I really thought I had enough energy that I could finish all the pairing videos today, but I think I mean I don't know, and whatever. So I do think because of my injury that I don't have as much energy as I thought I can, but it's really still so early for me to go to sleep. But I don't know, if I'm really am this sleepy, I should go to sleep even if it's super early, right? And if I wake up early, it's all good. I could start my day early. And so yeah, just wish me luck. And so I want this to be the final video to talk about because I personally really do like what happens in this live stream. So this happened 2 days ago, July 10th, 2025. And it has Yejun. Yejun is in the middle wearing blue. Noah is on the right wearing white. And Pambi is on the left wearing black. First off, I really like to see them in these outfits. I don't know how to call these outfits, but it's like military band style outfit. I don't know. But I really like this kind of style on them. And so when I was watching this in real time and I see them pop up and they're all dressed in each color outfit, I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks so good. And I'm thinking, what are they gonna do today? It's very interesting if they're dressed like this. Like, I wonder what's gonna happen. And so the thing is, we can assume they're doing something that's because they are the three oldest in PLAVE, but also they are each in charge of their own line. And so I don't know why it happened. It just started from the beginning of Yejun and Noah being competitive to have people join their line, like be their own team. Because I guess it happened because they're the two oldest in the group. And so it started with trying to get someone to get into their line. So we have yeah line and no line, and I should talk about it in a future video, but eventually no line happened as just Noah and Uno. But Uno, I don't know, there were some live streams in the past where he says he left no line, but then I think he came back to no line, or also he said like, I did leave no line, but I am forever in no line though. I don't know. It's honestly kind of complicated. I'm not sure what's happening with No Line, but I think no matter what Uno says about him leaving No Line or not, is that he will always forever be No Line. And so that is their official name, Noah and Uno together. And I'll talk about that pairing one day once I have energy for it. And so, yeah, so yeah line for Yejun, no line for Noah. And so with Bombi, so there was a time when they tried to have Bombi join yeah line and no line. They did their best to convince him to join their line, but sadly, that never happened because Bombi is so he is his own person. He's like, I do not want to join any line. I just want to be my own line, palm line. And so we didn't think it would be so serious, but the staff decided to make it serious. So it happened when they dedicated a whole live stream of announcing that Palm Line is official. Like, oh, we'll talk about that next time when I get into the trio videos that I can make. So yeah, so they officially made it official that Palm Line is for real, and as of that moment, sadly there is no one in Palm Line except for Palmby himself, but he will always be open to anyone that wants to join his line. But sadly that didn't really get going. The thing is that Hamin did join Palm Line for only 2 weeks or 10 days, something like that. And it made me a little bit sad because it was so nice to see Pombi have someone in his line, and he was so proud to have Hamin be in his team, and like Hamin had the same face effect that Bombi has, except Hamin was as numbers. It's super cute. I thought that was one of the cutest things I've ever seen. And so that was the only time we ever saw any action in Palm Line, and other than that, there like no one has ever joined Palm Line except for Hamin. Oh no, sorry, I totally forgot there was some action in Palm Line. Yejun and Uno did join Palm Line, but nothing really happened. So if ever I could talk about that next time, yeah, there's so many things to talk about that happened to PLAVE, and it's only been 2.5 years, but seriously, so much drama happens within PLAVE, and so that did happen where they join Palmline, but they don't get the same effects as Bombi. Only Hamin has the ability to copy others people's effects, but the other members, they do not have that ability, so they can never copy each other's effects. Only Hamin can do that. And so when Yejun and Uno joined Palmline, like I said, sadly nothing really big happened. It was just really silly how it happened, but nothing happened. It's unfortunate to say that Palmline has very little things happen, and so Palmbi stays as his own Palmline, and so they are called the Sujangji. So this trio called Sujangji is because the word Sujang means a leader, like a leader of like a group, or just like the captain of some kind of team, and so they will call that person a sujang. And so because they each have their own line, yeah line, no line, palm line, they are each the leader of their own team line, and so that's how they got their trio name sujangji as so. And so if ever I can make the trio videos later, I can talk more about how much I like this sujangji trio next time. And so this live stream, which is the latest one that came out recently, I really enjoyed it. And so this is something I just want to talk about for now, because I have what's the word? My remaining energy that I have right now is, I feel like since this was something that recently happened, it's still very fresh in my memory, and I can talk about all the things that I liked about it. And then I will go to sleep very early tonight, and wish me luck that my injury will get better. All right, that's number one. I really need to heal from this injury ASAP. Okay, so so into this live stream. So they first get to talking. So their Japanese album recently came out in June digitally, but then the physical album came out July 9th, and so on that day they did a TikTok live, and so they showed how the physical album looks like, and then they also played some silly games in there. So the thing is, like, there's no official video of that TikTok live. I don't know if they ever will upload it or show clips of it, so that makes me a little sad if we're never gonna see them post about it. So the thing is, I've only seen fans repost about it, but I don't know if I should really show it here, because it's fan posted, not officially from PLAVE, and so I don't want to get any trouble with using their videos on my YouTube channel, right? But so far, anytime when I use play videos where I'm talking about it, showing about it, so far I've never got any copyright strikes on me. So I want to believe they do not put copyright things on their live stream videos, which I find very interesting. But I still want to believe their music, though, should be copyrighted, but at least their live stream content, it's as long as I don't claim it as my own, which of course I don't, so I just use it for my own content where I'm just talking about it and all that stuff. So I think as long as I never say I own it, then I should be fine. And so but then I do not want to use a fan's video for my YouTube channel, because I don't know how that would I don't know how that would go. So I wish I can show to you guys the TikTok live, but briefly, the only thing to mention about that is that they play this game where they show it here in this live stream of the three of them. They show it here again of them playing the game as well, because they want to prove that they can do it better than how they did it during the TikTok live. So let me speed to that point, because I found it kind of fun. So first we have Pambi on the left, Yejun on the right. So we first have them to do this game. And so the basis of this game is that is that there are 4 actions. And so with those 4 actions, you call it either strawberry, banana, apple, or mogwa. So I don't know what mogwa is in English. I looked it up and it says quince. Quince? I've never heard of that before. So I don't know if that's really the real English word. But I mean, I personally never heard of this fruit before. But I have heard of mogwa in Korea, though. But I never knew what was the English word for it. But it's apparently a quince. But I don't know. I don't even know if I'm even saying it correctly in English. So I'm just going to call it mogwa, the Korean name of this fruit. And so they call each dance move a fruit. Okay, so I wonder if we could see it here. One second. Eh, have to see. Okay, do they start it here? Okay, okay, okay. Hold on, I need to hear it.
네, 좋아요, 좋아요. 저는 질 자신이 없어요. 네.
Yejun says, I am confident I'm not gonna lose.
자, 천천히 할게요.
Sorry, I'm not sure. I feel like I stuttered my words. Yejun just said there, I'm confident I'm not gonna lose. And so the thing is that in the TikTok live, I think he did okay. I think he did okay, but he feels so confident he's not gonna lose. But we'll see how he does. So 1 second. So
시작. 딸기, 바나나, 사과, 모과.
okay. So did you see that? So each move had a fruit name, and so Noah was saying the fruit strawberry, banana, apple, mogwa. So just seeing that again.
천천히 할게요.
Actually, let me mute it so that I can say it in English. So that's strawberry. So you do this move when you're doing strawberry. You do this move when it's banana. You do that move. Oh, it was very fast. Okay, hold on. Oh. 1 second. Okay. Okay. So strawberry, that's the move. Banana is this move. Apple is like when you pull the arm back like that. Apple is that move. And then when you jump up like that is mogwa. So these are all moves from Kakurenbo choreography. I wish I could show it from the TikTok live, but again, yeah, I can't show it because there's no official video of it. But that's basically how you play the game. So whenever Noah says a fruit, so any of those fruits, then you have to do these dance moves. And so whenever Noah says a fruit, then you do that dance move. And of course, if you do the dance move incorrectly or if you're too slow, then of course you lose. But another rule on top of that is that if you say a fruit more than 2 times, so let's say I said strawberry, then you do the dance move, right? And then the next fruit I say is strawberry again. Then you're not supposed to do the strawberry. So whenever a fruit gets repeated, no matter how many times it is, so I say strawberry 3, 4, 5, 10 times. So after the first time, you cannot dance at all whenever I repeat the same fruit more than 2 times. I hope that made sense. So that's why when you see them not move, that's because they said a fruit a second time or a third time or a fourth time, and you're not supposed to move at all until another fruit is said. So let's hear it, and hopefully you can hear it okay, even though he's saying it in Korean, and you'll see what happens.
딸기.
So he said strawberry, and that's the
이거
dance move.
바로 제자리로 돌아오세요. 오케이. 다시 처음부터. 그거 인트로 넘어가고 갈게요.
네.
시작. 딸기. 딸기.
So Noah just said strawberry a second time, and so you're not supposed to move. So Yejun did it correctly. He didn't move at all, but then Bombi flinched. So he technically didn't move. He just flinched, but they're like, hey, you flinched, you're not supposed to move at all. And so he should have been like he should have lost, but they decided to give it as a warning because it was really, really, really so small that he moved. And so they decided to just let it go as a warning and then to still continue the game.
딸기.
안 했잖아. 안 했잖아.
이렇게 봐도 원래 틀린 건데.
그 틀린 거야?
경고 한번 드릴게요.
오케이.
So they went with the excuse of like Bombi is like, is that you, would you really get eliminated even if you move a little bit? And Noah's like, yeah, you're supposed to be eliminated. And then Bombi's like, okay, I understand now. So I think he might be lying, but he's like, okay, so you're not supposed to move at all. So that's like being really strict in my opinion. If you flinch a little, I think you should be able to still pass, but they said you cannot move at all if you hear the same fruit said again. And so now Bombi's like, okay, I get it now. And so they did try again.
경고로. 자, 그럼 인트로부터 할게요. 다시 시작. 딸기, 바나나, 사과, 모과. 딸기, 바나나, 사과, 모과. 모과. 바나나. 바나나. 딸기. 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 사과. 딸기. 딸기.
So they were doing pretty good, but sadly Bombi messed up because Noah said strawberry a second time. He's not supposed to move, but he sadly moved. And so yeah, Yejun was doing well, but in the end he actually lost. And so yeah, so in the end he lost. Okay, so 1 second.
오케이. 딸기. 딸기. 모과. 사과.
So I don't know why that happened. I think the staff made a mistake, but Yejun did make a mistake, but then suddenly the camera changed, and so we ended up not seeing. And so Yejun says, "Hey, the fans didn't see it, so that it didn't count." And so that was a really silly thing that happened. And then so I was like, "Okay, let's do it again."
증거가 없어요.
Yeah. Yejun says here, "There's no proof that I did it wrong." That was really such weird timing. Why that happened?
아, 한 거예요? 딸기 바나나 사과
아,
아니에요?
바로.
딸기 바나나 사과
자,
아닐
지금
들 없어요?
반경고 풀었어요. 반경고.
아, 제대로 말해요.
네.
발음 이상해 저는.
아, 오케이. 발음 아나운서급으로 할게요. 사과, 사과, 딸기, 바나나, 모과, 모과, 딸기, 바나나, 바나나, 딸기, 바나나, 딸기, 바나나, 모과, 모과, 딸기,
I thought that was fine, but they keep doing this to each other. It's like, hey, that was yeah.
사과, 사과.
Yeah, so Yejun lost. He was not supposed to move because that was that was Noah saying apple a second time. And so they played this like 2 or 3 times, and so Yejun lost 2 times, and so that's why he sadly lost. Bombi, and then it goes into Bombi and Noah fighting against each other because Yejun lost. But the thing is that they go through the same thing of like catching each other, like saying, hey, didn't you mess up, or did you not mess up? So they continue like this the whole entire time. But it's so funny because they take it so seriously. But in the TikTok live, it was a lot shorter and quicker, and like it was honestly more chaotic, but I think it was because it was 5 of them. So I find it very interesting, the dynamic when it's the 3 of them compared to the 5 of them. It's very different. And so anyway, so this is one of the games they played in the TikTok live, and I really hope they can upload it officially by PLAVE, but I don't know if they will. And so anyway, so they decide to do that, and then they talk a bit, and then so they go into this format here, okay? So 1 second. So they go into this format here where they're at a table. Hold on. Yeah. So they're at this table, right? And the peaches in the back, that's for a game later. So they're at this table, and so they say at first, we have a meeting between us 3, the leaders, right? The 수장지. So us, the leaders, we have some things to discuss, and the thing they discuss first is who's gonna be the next MC. So they always have an MC position in PLAVE that rotates every 6 months. So the first one was Hamin, the second one was Noah, and the third one is Uno. And so the fourth one we assume should either be Bombi or Yejun, right? But then they have this meeting saying like, Uno needs more practice as the MC. I think he should be the MC for another 6 months. And so they were saying, things like this, and I'm just like, I don't know. But then one thing led to another, and Yejun convinced Bombi that you should do the MC for these next 6 months, because if you do MC another time, it will be like a lot harder for you. So Yejun is thinking these next 6 months is gonna be the easiest time for the MC, and so Bombi is like, okay, I want to do it. So Bombi really doesn't like to MC, it seems, because I guess it is a lot harder if you have to MC. I don't know. But that's they give us that impression it is, and so they did this discussion with each other and settled on that. So we'll see if Bombi actually will become the next MC, because the PLAVE guys vote on it later. So we'll see if that really happens. And so then they get into the first game in this format is a drawing mafia game. So let me mute it, and you could just watch them explain about it, but I will explain for them in English. So how to play this game is that they each get a word, and 2 of them have the correct word, while 1 of them has an incorrect word. And so that person with the incorrect word is the mafia. Now, the thing is, though, is that the incorrect word, it's something that's similar to the correct word. So it's very possible the mafia can trick them because his word is similar to what the correct word is. And so their job is for mafia to try to trick them that he's not mafia, and then the other guy's job is to catch the guy who they think is the mafia. So it's very interesting. I've never seen this type of game before, and so because the mafia's word is something similar to the correct word, that definitely makes it a lot harder. So I do find this game very, very interesting. And so when we get into it, so the first how can I okay, I guess we have to play it. Okay, so it says there on the bottom in black, that's the correct word, and it's a notebook. Okay, and that's them showing their drawing. Okay, so so the black word in Korean, so that's notebook, that's the correct word. And then the red box that has question mark, that's the mafia, the incorrect word, but they are not revealing it to us yet. So they want us to guess, what could the incorrect word be, and then who we think out of these drawings is the liar. So we know the word is a notebook, and so that's why Yejun wrote N-O-T, because that's kind of like the English way to say notebook in Korean. And then Noah's drawing looks like a notepad or a memo pad, something like that. But the thing is, the strategy of that is that even if you have the correct word, you want to trick the mafia, because you don't want the mafia to guess what the correct word is, because if the mafia does guess the correct word, then he wins. Even if you catch the mafia, he'll win if he guesses the correct word. And so that's also another strategy with the other guys, is to not make it obvious what the correct word is. And so then Bombi's drawing, it looks like a notebook, kind of does, but also not really at the same time. And so they have to guess who they think is the drawing that's the mafia. And so as they go about it, they picked Bombi as the mafia. So they pick him as the mafia, and it ended up correct. He is the mafia. But if Bombi guesses the word correctly, then he would win. And so he looks at their drawings and he guesses it's a notebook. And they're like, "Are you sure? You don't want to change your answer?" He's like, "No, I'm sure. I think it's a notebook." And he ended up being correct. And then here, Noah blames Yejun. He's like, "Yejun, yours is so obvious. You freaking wrote out N-O-T, right?" Which is like pretty much like it says it's notebook. And also and also Bombi's word is similar to the correct word, right? So he's also guessing based on his word too, like what the correct word would be. And so he guessed correctly. It was a notebook. But I do think was funny because Noah no, and anyways, so here they're trying to convince Bombi. Are you sure it's notebook? Are you sure?
문자.
네.
오케이. 자, 정답은 진짜 뭐 하는 거야? 아니 지금 바꾸면 어떡해요?
Yeah, so it's correct. And then here's Noah yelling at Yejun.
이러면 안 된다라는 걸 제가 보여드리겠습니다.
So Noah says to Yejun, "Well, what were you doing? Why did you do that? So obvious!" Like telling him the answer. And so Yejun says, "Oh yes. So what I did is showing everyone what not to do, what not to do." And he said, "Don't do this. Like, don't make it so obvious what the correct word is." And so yeah, so this was the first round of them playing the Mafia game. But then I want to show my favorite part is this one.
자, 10초입니다. 10초.
네.
시작.
Okay, so so we don't know who's the mafia yet, but it shows here two of the people have the correct word, which is PLAVE. So that's very interesting. The two people who have the word PLAVE, what are they gonna draw? And like they want to try to make it not obvious, right? So what do they draw? And then the mafia guy is question mark, so we don't know what word he has. So we'll see with their drawings who we think maybe could be the mafia. So let's look.
오, 안 나와요. 아, 죄송해요. 지우개를. 자, 할게요.
Yeah, Yejun was just having problems with his iPad, but he's fine. Or tablet, I don't know what they're using.
오케이. 자, 하나, 둘, 셋.
So they're cracking up, and you'll see in 1 second why they start cracking up. So we see Noah's drawing. Like we kind of saw Bombi's and Yejun's drawing a little bit, but we couldn't really see Noah's drawing. But now they show it to us here, Noah's drawing, and it's very obvious. It's very obvious he's the mafia, because why would he draw that to represent PLAVE? That doesn't make sense, right? And so that's why Bombi and Yejun are laughing so much, because it's obvious He's the mafia, but Noah doesn't know that. He thinks, he still thinks he can get away with it. But let's watch and see.
야 보자마자 누군지 알겠다.
So as we see there, Yejun's and Bombi's drawing. So if they are not the mafia, they drew something that's related to PLAVE, and so we can already guess. Yeah, obviously what they drew is related to PLAVE and not Noah, and so. We know this already, but we wonder, like, what the heck was Noah drawing? I don't know. What word did he get for him to draw that? But I think his little drawing is so adorable. Isn't it so cute? I think it's so cute. And so I wondered, when I was watching this in real time, I wondered why would he draw this? I was thinking, oh, maybe his word is the little characters, they're little like doll characters. I keep forgetting what are they called, but they're Mimu, something like that. M. And so I was thinking maybe he was drawing them, but then I'm like, no, that doesn't really look like them. But I couldn't think, well, why else would he draw something like that? But another funny thing is that Hamin wrote on Weverse at this time, so he was also watching, and then he decided to comment on this, and so he says, hey, I think Noah should use that picture, like what he drew here. He should use that picture as his passport photo, and I'm like, that's so hilarious. I think if Noah uses this as his passport photo, would be too adorable. I seriously think this drawing is so cute. I think it's so adorable. But why did he draw that? So let's keep watching and it will reveal to us 1 second.
야 보자마자 누군지 알겠다.
Bombi is so cute.
이거 마피아 노아인데.
Okay, so now they revealed here what was Noah's word. And so Noah's word was alien. So now that I saw that, I'm like, oh, okay, so that's his attempt at drawing an alien, which is such a cute alien. But then I wonder what Noah was thinking. Why does he get the word alien? Like maybe he wanted to try and like draw something, less alien-y. But I also think that's not too fair because PLAVE and alien, like they are related, but it's not super close to the word PLAVE in my opinion. So I felt like it was meant to be that the mafia would get caught easily if these are the two words, right? And so anyways, but I do think Yejun's drawing of just 5 circles like that, I think that's really smart. Like it could mean anything. So like but only people, of PLAVE, like we would know that means PLAVE just because we know it's PLAVE. And so I do think that was a good way to draw it. And then Bombi's P, I mean, it's not exactly a P. I see that he tried to make it less obvious of what that P is, but still, yeah, that drawing of the alien, too cute. I hope they keep that drawing and it gets posted somewhere. That's seriously so adorable. But anyways, let's see if what happens. So 1 second.
하는 거예요? 완전히.
진짜 미치겠다.
예, 무조건이라서. 맞춰주세요. 이거 보고.
So they both voted Noah as the mafia, and Noah's like, what? That's crazy. Why you vote me as the mafia? And they're like, it's obvious you're the mafia. But then Noah doesn't know what the real word is, right? And so he's like, okay, yeah, I'm the mafia, and so he tries to guess what the word is. So
우리 거 보고. 근데 이번은 뭐 맞출 수 있지.
yeah, but they think he can guess it. So
아 마피아인데
now he's trying to guess what the word is.
너무 어렵게 그린 거 아니야?
He says, isn't that really difficult?
지금 일부러 내가 헷갈리게 하긴 했어.
근데 넌 알지? 이게 뭔지
알죠?
정답 플레이브.
Yeah, so Noah guessed it as PLAVE, right? Which was surprising, and they were surprised too. And then Noah says later, oh no. So they asked Noah, why do you think it's PLAVE? And then Noah says, oh, because my word is alien. And then when I see you guys' 2 pictures, I'm thinking it has to be PLAVE. And so yeah, so thanks to his word of alien, so he was able to match up with their pictures. Yeah, it does remind him of PLAVE. And so even though I think they did draw it pretty well, even Noah said was quite difficult to see what it could be based on their pictures, but yeah, because of his hint alien, I think that really helped him. And so yeah, and they all agreed, oh, that's why, that's easy.
왜? 어째서? 그냥 느낌적으로 제가 외계인을 받았거든요. 아 근데 쉽다.
Yeah, so they say that's easy if you know the alien clue as well. Yeah. So Noah ends up getting a point, even though he was voted as the mafia. He guessed the word correctly, so he doesn't lose. He got the point. But seriously, that I watched this part so many times because I think that alien picture is too adorable. I really hope they post it somewhere, or I don't know if maybe they erased it, but I hope that photo gets posted somewhere. And then I also really liked Bombi's like laughing. It's so cute when he laughs that way. So it's I just it's so really that was a really fun moment. And so after they finish playing this game, then they play the game with the peaches. And so what is with the peaches? And oh, hold on, I need to go from the beginning. Okay, and then let me mute it. So they're playing Alien Indian Poker. I don't know what's the real word of this game, but it's my first time ever hearing of this game. But they call it Alien Indian Poker because they're aliens. But I don't know what's the original name for this game. So this is like poker, but not really. It's also kind of like blackjack as well. So the point of this game is that they each get a card. Oh, you see there they each get a card, and then we'll see as it keeps going. So they each get a card. Okay, so let's see Bombi, for example. So his card, it's a 7, and they each get a card. Now, what makes this so interesting is that you don't know your own card. Isn't that wild? So it's like the opposite of how poker is played. So you would know your own cards, and then you would have to try to guess what everyone else's cards could be based on betting, right? But this is the opposite, where you don't know your card and you can only see the other people cards. Wild, right? So you're betting based on what you see of what they have, but you don't know what you have. But the other people can see what you have though. So it's a big nunchi game. I don't know what's nunchi. How can you translate that? But it's like it's just you have to guess based on feelings, intuition, see how the other people react, see how they're betting, and you have to go with your intuition if you think you have a good card or not. So Bombi's card is 7, right? But he doesn't know that. Only him. He doesn't know his own card. But Yejun and Noah do know he has a 7. But they don't know their own card. So even though they know he has a 7, but you don't know your own card, like should you bet a lot? Should you not bet a lot? And so the numbers only go from 1 to 9. So 9 being the highest. And so 7 is a really high number. So I don't know if they're going to bet a lot unless they think they have an 8 or 9 that could beat it. And so it's up to them. And so let's go through this first round so that it could and then I could explain along the way. So 1 second.
Okay.
But I do like how we have camera angles at each member. It's so impressive. The tech team, they keep improving along the way. And I forgot to mention. So Bombi has 7. So sorry. I need to explain this. So he has a 7 red color, okay? And then but yeah, the camera angles on each person. Yejun is thinking as he's looking at their cards. Yejun has a blue 1. And then Noah here has a black 3. So the colors, I don't know if this was decided beforehand, but they decided it right before they started the game. Is that if you have the same number as one of the people, then based on the color ranking, then that will determine if you win. And so since there's only 3 colors, black, red, and blue, so they decided like, well, since Hamin is black and he's the tallest one, let's call black as the highest one, and then red being Uno, the next tallest one, he will be second, and then blue being Yejun, the next tallest, he will be third. And so that's the ranking. Black is the highest, then red, and then blue. And so that's important because when they all have the same number, then the black card would win or the red card would win. And so I hope that makes sense. And so as we see, Bombi has 7, Yejun has 1, and Noah has 3. So the colors don't matter. They all have different numbers. And so of course Bombi would win. And so yeah, so the guys know each other's cards except their own. And let's see how they go about betting about it.
자. 첫 판이잖아.
Yeah, so they bet with those peaches. So each person has 20 peaches. Yeah, so with those 20 peaches, how much do you want to bet on it?
근데 처음에는
재밌게 합시다 처음부터.
네.
바로 시작하면 될까요?
자 브라이언 바로 시작해요.
자
잠가비로 복수.
They have the AI person Brian helping them like be like the dealer.
하나씩 여기 있어 여기 이렇게. 저 올렸나요?
So betting you always have one peach out for just betting first off. And then Noah starts it because he won rock paper scissors.
할게요.
So he sees that Bombi has 7, Yejin has 1, and so how much will he bet based on that and betting on what he thinks what kind of card he has. So he bets only 2 more peaches.
없어요.
And so he bets 2 peaches, and then I forgot what's the term in poker, but it's either like you bet or call. Is it something like that? So basically, so they use their own phrases though, and so you would say Lasco if you want to bet higher than the other person. You would say, so just that word say, you would say if you just match to that person. So you match the amount of peaches matching to him, not going over it. And then you would say kokko. So kokko in Korean means like turn, but in PLAVE lingo, they use it a lot to like mean everything because they think they always make up new words just because it's funny. And so this word, kokko, which literally means to turn. So this means that you pass and you don't want to bet. And so those are the terms they're going to use when betting. And so first, Noah is the first one, and he decides to bet 2 peaches.
자, 모든 복숭아를 뺏어서
And then next is Bombi's turn. They're going clockwise.
그래서 60개 먹어야겠다.
60개가 아니죠. 맞네요. 자,
가세요.
시계
시계
방향.
방향이니까.
전가요?
네.
아 이쪽으로
아,
가는군요.
확실히
네.
좀 이게
자,
Yeah, Bombi just didn't know that it was clockwise, so they're just letting him know.
숫자가 들어가면
근데 이거 다 게임일 수도 있어요. 제가
아,
지금.
연기하시는
연기일 수도
이렇게.
있고.
아,
아니 이거 일단 처음이니까 저는 세입.
세.
Yeah, so Bombi,
저는
sees that Yejun has 1 and 3. So you would think maybe he has a high enough number, to beat them, but he's deciding to play it safe. So he said, since this is just the first round, I'll play it safe. And so he says say. So say means he just matches the same amount of peaches as Noah, and so he does that. And Yejun here, he just said kokko. So kokko means I'm not gonna bet, I'm gonna pass. And so he seeing that Noah is 3 and Bombi is 7, so he's thinking he probably has a low card. I don't know why, but he's thinking that, and so he decides he's not gonna bet and he's gonna pass it. But that was good on him because he has a 1.
아, 라스고. 에이.
Noah just said Lasco, so he's thinking Noah. I don't know why he's thinking he has a high card to beat 7. I don't know why, but he says Lasco, so he decides to bet more. So he bets more. So he's now has 5 peaches up there, and now it's up to Bombi what he wants to do with his betting.
아, 참. 저는 그러면
오케이.
Yeah, so Bombi, I think did the right thing. He sees they have a 1 and 3, and so he's thinking, hopefully I have a big enough number, to beat them. But then he's also thinking, why is Noah betting so much? So like I don't know how he's really guessing all that. I don't know how I would be if I was in his situation. But he decides to call in his bluff, right? Could be like bluffing, whatever these things could be. And so he decides to Lasco, so he bets a little bit higher, more peaches than Noah. Noah does Lasco as well, so he bets a little bit more. I don't know why he's so confident seeing Bombi 7. I don't know why. Anyways. So that's why they're all surprised. Bombi is like, do you know this is the first round? And Noah's like, yeah, of course. I know it's the first round. And so he's I don't know. He's being so gutsy.
세.
Yeah, he does say just matching to him.
자 볼까요?
끝나는 거죠?
Okay, and now it's over, and then now they see what card they have, and then see who wins.
하나.
브라이언 나오네?
브라이언 안 나오네.
아 저희가 숫자를 보면 돼요?
자, 숫자 확인할게요. 둘, 셋. 와.
So Noah is like, ah! That was him saying that because he lost. And so he thought for some reason he would beat 7. And then Bombi is really happy because because he beated everyone, and so yeah, so Noah is not happy that he made that decision.
잘한다.
오케이, 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 오케이.
야, 밤비 잘한다.
오케이.
자, 바로 가시죠 이거는.
오케이. 아싸 신비국수 나네. 자, 잠시만요.
Yeah, so yeah, do you say that their tech is so impressive, and so all those peaches went to Bombi because he won that round. And then there's another interesting thing about this game. Okay, so then they wait for the next cards. Okay. So I don't know why they have this rule, but here, Bombi has a 9, right? And it's a black. Okay, it's a black 9, so he has the highest card in the whole entire deck. But of course, he doesn't know that. But Yejin and Noah know that. So he has a 9, and then one of the rules is that if you have a 9 and you do not bet anything, then as a penalty you lose 5 peaches. I have no idea why they have this rule. I have no idea because I guess it's just by luck if you decide to not bet and you ended up having a 9, you lose 5 peaches. I don't know. That's one of the rules. And so Bombi has a 9, but he doesn't know that.
세이? 아니,
Okay. So he won the last round. So then he decide. So it's because he won the last round. Then this round he goes first again. So he sees Yejun's and Noah's card, and so let's see what they have. Okay, Noah has an 8, a red 8, and Yejun has
하나 내면서 세 해야죠.
죽을까요?
yeah, Yejun has a black 8. Okay, so Bombi sees they both are 8, right? And so he's thinking, there's no way I have a 9. He's thinking that. And so since it's his first turn, he decides to not bet. So they're going about it, and then they're saying to Bombi, you don't want to bet? Like you sure? And then Bombi's like, what, do I have to bet on the first one? And they're like, no, like so I think they're like, trying not to like convince him or like show anything of him having a 9, but him not betting when he has a 9, he's gonna lose 5 peaches. So Yejun and no one know this, but they're trying not to sway him in any way. And so Bombi, I think that makes sense. If you see your opponents both have 8, what are the chances you're gonna have a 9, right? I mean, yeah, Bombi is so lucky, but that's why he decided to not bet. He's most likely thinking, yeah, I'm not gonna win this round.
아니, 하나를 내면서 세이.
네. 오케이.
So he decides to pass Gokko, so he decides to pass. And then Yejun as well, he also decides to pass. So I think why they do that is because they know Bombi is gonna lose 5 peaches. So as long as he doesn't bet anything. So if he passes and then Noah passes, then Bombi is gonna lose 5 peaches. But the thing is, in the end, they know they're not. Yeah. In the end, they know they're not gonna win because Bombi has a black 9. Nothing can beat a black 9, and so they know that. And so I do think that's why they decide, since Bombi is passing and he's gonna lose 5 peaches, they all should pass. And then so that's what happened.
아, 끝났어. 형,
끝난
세
거야?
개 더. 어.
아 오케이 시작 먹을게요.
오케이.
하나
둘,
둘
셋.
셋.
아, 뭔가 이럴 것 같았단 말이야.
세방비 5개 내야 되는 거 알죠?
오케이.
So Bobby is not happy. I don't know why he said that, but he said, "Man, I knew this was gonna happen." Like he said like, "Oh yeah, I thought this was gonna happen." I don't know why he said that. So I don't know why he said that, but he decided to pass though. So I'm thinking when he saw that they both have 8s, he's probably thinking, what if I have a 9? Maybe I have a 9. So that's my thinking why he said that. He's like, oh, maybe I have a 9. And so maybe he's thinking, oh man, I knew this was going to happen. Like, what if he got a 9? And so that's why he's upset. He's like, man, I had a feeling maybe I would have gotten a 9, but he decided to not believe it and think that he most likely has a low number. And so yeah, so I think that's why he's sad about that. And since it's a 9 and he passed on it, so he has to give up 5 peaches. So he's gonna he gives 5 peaches. So I don't know how this works, but the 5 peaches only goes to Noah. I have no idea why. So when they were saying, hey, who did the 5 peaches, who do they go to? And then the staff says it goes to Noah, but I have no idea why. Because both Yejun and Noah have an 8, but Yejun has a higher 8. He's black, so I don't know, but that's happened. Yeah, he gave 5 to Noah. So I'm thinking maybe because Noah has the least amount of peaches. Maybe that's why. Maybe. So because he has the least amount of peaches, maybe that's why it goes to him. Maybe. Just my guess. So I don't know the rules on that. But yeah, so he loses 5 peaches. And so they continue playing this game, and as they continue playing, Bombi has the best luck. So let me mute it as continue watching. So Bombi has the best luck. He keeps having high number cards, and Yejun has the worst luck. He keeps getting like numbers less than 3. I don't know why. It's so funny. So he keeps getting all the low numbers. Bombi kept getting the high numbers. And so as they kept going, like, oh yeah, see, look, Bombi got another 9. Can you believe it? It's crazy. And so they see he has a 9, but then he bets, he doesn't pass. And so since he bets, and so he doesn't get that penalty, but he got so lucky. And like Noah said, I thought maybe I would have a higher 9, but he sadly miscalculated on that. There's no way numbers will repeat themselves. So they find that out later, that the numbers don't, so not the numbers, but like, there's only 3 9s, 3 8s, 3 7s. You guys get it? So no more than those amount of numbers would show up. And so yeah, some of them were like, man, I would have like, done my strategy differently if I had known that. But then they also said, well, isn't that kind of obvious that the cards wouldn't repeat themselves? And they're like, yeah, we should have thought that. And so anyway, so now that they know that, I think if they play this game again, it would go way differently. But I do think Bombi's luck was so good on this day. Like, he seriously was only getting high numbers, and then Noah was really gutsy on how he was betting, but he was only betting when he had low numbers, and so he was being way too gutsy, and that led to Bombi getting a lot of peaches. And so anyways, I want to talk about a very fun part that happened. I didn't get what was happening when I was watching in real time, but then when I watched this again and I understood the game more, I realized what happened. So let me see. Okay, so at this point of the okay. So oh no, I have to. Okay, so you see, Noah bets all his peaches, and sadly he lost it all. So he's the first one to lose, and then it's only Bombi and Yejun playing with each other. Yeah, poor Noah. He was just. He bet at the wrong times, but also he was just really, really too gutsy with the way that he was betting. It's like if you see that Bombi has like an 8 or a 7, I don't know why, but like Noah was just betting so much when he sees Bombi has a high number. So I do think that was Noah's mistake, and that's how he ended up early. And so, sorry, that's how he ended up losing early. And so here, Bombi has 52 peaches. Yejun has 8 peaches. And so can Yejun make a comeback? It's totally possible. But his luck with the cards was seriously so bad. And so as we see between the two of them, so this was a really funny thing that happened. So one second. Hold on. So it's Bombi versus Yejun. So here Bombi has a 4. So now they know that the numbers are not repeating themselves, but I don't know if they're really able to keep track of what numbers they've seen or not seen yet. But that's important, because that's why Yejun says this later. So one second. Right, so Bombi has a 4 and Yejun has a 3, and so they can see each other's cards, but they don't know their own card. And so Yejun, at this point, he says to himself, but he says it out loud, but he doesn't realize it. So he said, what does he say? Sorry, well, let me hear it and then I'll translate it.
재밌다. 그냥 보는 사람 되게 재밌을 것 같아. 재밌다. 뭐가 없잖아. 4잖아.
So Yejun says here, what else is left? So he's thinking what numbers are left based on what they've seen so far. And also that he sees Bombi's card. So he says, what numbers are left? That's a 4. So then what could I be? He says this. That's a 4. So what could I be? So he says that. Okay, he says that in this moment. Okay, so then, and then. And then Bombi says here, are you saying my card is a 4? So Yejun just revealed Bombi's card. Like, Bombi doesn't know his card, but then Yejun just said, that card is a 4. Then what could I be? And so So and then you see Yejun's reaction when Bombi said, "Are you saying my card is a 4?" And then see what happens.
어떻게 이럴 수가 있어요?
뭐 하는 거야?
Uh,
혼잣말을 밖으로 꺼내면서 속마음을 왜 밖으로 왜 꺼내면서
나 이게
아니
나는 이거
아니 왜 독백을 혼자 갑자기
uh,
시바이를
아니 그러니까 갑자기 혼자 얘기를 왜 하는 거야?
히토리 시바이를
아니 왜 혼잣말을
So Yejun is very, very embarrassed of himself, and Noah is like, "Why are you saying things to yourself out loud? Why did you do that?" And then Bombi is like, "Well, what's going on? I don't know why he did that." And so Yejun is like, "I can't believe I just did that." And so they go about this betting game, like Bombi knowing that he has a 4 and he knows what Yejun's card is, but Yejun doesn't know his card, and so they still go about the game, thinking, Yejun, well, how are you gonna bet now that Bombi knows he has a 4? And so Bombi goes about the betting, and he tells to Yejun, I hope that you bet I hope that you bet well. And so Bombi knows that he's gonna win, but he's hoping, Yejun doesn't bet too much. But sadly, what happens is that Yejun believes, based on what Bombi does and what he says, he thinks his number is gonna be higher than Bombi's. He thinks, and so he decides to bet a lot. And sadly, that was not the case. Bombi was very good at, like, I don't know, showing that for some reason, showing that maybe he has a lower or high card. I don't know. And so that's basically what happened in this whole thing. And I every time when I see that part, I'm just like, gosh, yeah, June, I don't know why he did that. But I don't know. So now I wonder what would have happened if Bombi didn't know he has a 4, right? So I kind of wish they could have just, like, skipped this round since Bombi knows what card he has, but in the end, what can we do? And so Yejun for some reason thought he would have a higher number based on what Bombi was doing and saying, and just, I don't know, maybe Bombi's like a really good actor or something. I don't know. So you see there, Bombi only bets 2 more peaches, and so I'm thinking Yejun thinks, since Bombi didn't bet a lot, maybe he's thinking, oh, maybe my number is high because he's not betting a lot. That's my thinking of why he thought that way. And so I don't know. Or Bombi could have, like, was also being nice. He knows he's gonna beat Yejun, but he decides to not bet a lot. I don't know. So in the end, Yejun doesn't win, and the whole entire game, Bombi ends up winning all the peaches, and I think that's very fitting given his fruit is the peach, and he loves eating peaches. So I thought in the end was very fitting. So Bomline, the leader of Bomline, won all the games, and I think was very nice. They're wearing these outfits because they're representing, like they're a leader basically of their line, and so I do think that was very nice to have them wear these clothes and this nice setting, and that's basically what happened at the end. And then they pose with the tall tower of peaches, all on Bombi's side, the tall tower of peaches, and so I kind of hope, I don't know if they will, but I kind of hope they can play these games with the 5 of them. So I'm curious how it would be when Hamin and Uno play it. But I don't know if they could, like, set this up with 5 people. So that's why I'm thinking why they only did it with 3. Because this whole setup would be difficult with 5 people. So the thing is, next week, it's a lot of PLAVE content we're gonna have next week. So Monday we have PLAVE Radio that has Yejun and Noah. Then on Tuesday is Bombi's birthday live. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I really like Bombi. I haven't done the videos of me talking about each member yet, but I'm a huge fan of Bombi, and so I'm very excited to see his birthday party and see what happens. But this year it's been a tradition that all the members show up for a member's birthday party. So I do believe all members will show up on Tuesday as well to celebrate Bombi's birthday. And we'll see what nice things will happen. They always do something nice on their birthday. And so I'm looking forward to it. And see, that's so cute, the photo with the peaches. That's also the thumbnail for this video. So it's very cute. And so that's on Tuesday. And then we have a break on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, it's another live stream, and it's going to be Bombi, Uno, and Hamin. So I find that very interesting. We're going to have the 3 of them for the live stream, and I wonder if maybe they're gonna play these games, just the 3 of them. I wonder, but we don't know. And so usually when we see a live stream of Bombi, Uno, Hamin, they're usually playing games. At least that's what I've noticed in the recent ones. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens. And it should be very, very fun and lots of things to have. And also Friday, this is the not every Friday, just for a month. On Friday, they also have their own original content of them preparing for Japan and like the Japan album and learning about Japan and stuff like that. So I find that very interesting as well. And so that's the end of my review slash summary of this live stream. But those were the highlights that I really liked, and this was definitely one of the most enjoyable Sujangji live streams I've ever seen, and yeah, they look so good, and the setting is so nice, and all the silly things that happened in this live stream. It was just really nice. It was really nice, and a big cheer me up, a pick me up. Sorry, a big pick me up as I'm still going through my injury, and so. Oh gosh, I'm finally done reviewing this video, and it's still too early for me to go to sleep. This is seriously so early, but I really do want to go to sleep. And so I'll just try to like slowly prepare all the things I have to do before sleeping, and hopefully the sun will set. So just FYI, the sun is not even set yet, so that's why it's way too early for me to go to sleep. But yeah, I'm just still like a bit concerned about my injury. Like if it doesn't get better by next week. I mean, 'cause I'm really glad it is getting better. That's the thing. But it just really sucks that I'm still feeling some pain in there, and I can't sit for a long time. I can't stand for a long time either. So I don't know. Okay, just wish me luck. Anyways, let's just enjoy Noah, Yejun, Pombi for these last few minutes, and as I think about what else to say. Yeah, I'm not gonna make any more videos. I'm just gonna upload these and then go to sleep. Oh yeah, that's right. So that could also take my time. I have to like upload these and all that stuff. But that's only gonna take me a few minutes. But regardless, yeah, I can still do some more stuff before I go to sleep and make the time go faster. I really want to finish those pairing videos. Gosh, I really thought I could finish it today, but it's my energy that's stopping me. I have very low energy right now, so it's okay. So we'll see later if I could do more of my videos to finish that up later. But I'm very excited for next week. I'm very excited to see what they plan to do, of all the live streams they're gonna do. Yeah, but I'm most excited about Bobby's birthday. Let's be real. I really like this guy, so I can't wait to celebrate his birthday. Oh yeah, I think they're ending soon. Aren't they so cute? I can't get over how cute they look. This outfit, which they've only worn at the concert, and sometimes on live streams too, but it's mainly used for their concerts. But I do think, yeah, that outfit looks very nice on them. But yeah, they're gonna have a concert in August. I do think we already saw the poster of their concert. They will have new outfits, so that's gonna be interesting to see them wear the new outfits. But I'm sure these outfits will show up in the concert too. Yeah, okay. So anyways, let's go ahead and end there. So as always, thanks for watching and listening, and see you next time.